Hello all, this is Victoria from Mindful Bamboo and I'm here with your Zodiac reading for the new moon in Capricorn that's coming up on December 30th. If you're in Asia, it will be December 31st for you. So this is the last new moon of the calendar year, and as the new moon suggests, this is a great opportunity to set new goals, to dream up some ambitions, and kind of roadmap the next leg of your journey, whatever that is for you. And of course you can go as wide or as narrow as you want, depending on where your priorities are and what is it that you're trying to create in your life. Capricorn energy adds an impact on clarity, structure, and process. It's also about doing your research. It's about, reading up on the topic that you're trying to pursue, meaning, what would be a good example? I don't know. You want to change your nutrition to meet some health goals, right? Do your homework, study that information, talk to experts, prepare, do the homework so that you're informed. You're not just guessing it. You're not just thinking, I'm just gonna eat less of XYZ and I'm gonna be fine. No, it needs to be more than just like one step. It will be a process, and it's important to get it right. And of course, whatever it is you're setting intentions for, it's gonna be important to start taking steps towards that. And I feel like the new year is gonna be a very natural trampoline for that. So I actually love when this happens like that. It doesn't happen very often that it coincides like that close, right? But it's almost like you've set your goal and then the universe is gonna propel you in the direction of whatever that goal and ambition is. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna first of all, I'm gonna lay out the big theme, the big question, the big topic. Actually, we'll do two big topics for this new moon in Capricorn. So I'll be using the Oracle deck for that. I'll use the Whispers of the Ocean today. So we'll see what's important. I'll also post some tarot so we can see for the collective. What is it about? What are we supposed to, which direction are we supposed to think in? And what do we need to keep in mind when we are reconsidering what is it that we want to create and how we want to do it, right? Because it's not just going to be the big picture, it's going to be the little details as well. Maybe not all the little details, but enough to get started, right? Enough to start taking steps towards it. And then we'll go with each zodiac sign, just sign by sign. We will start with Capricorn, actually. We are in Capricorn season, so that makes perfect sense. And then we'll go around, very handy, the zodiacal wheel behind me. We'll go sign by sign down to Sagittarius, and we'll see for each of the signs which is the additional theme for this new moon that could be explored, and the energy that it's advantageous and you should be taking advantage of. So there will be additional oracle card, and then with tarot we're gonna see what is it that you're creating, and also what is it that what kind of action you need to take. So it's a little bit different, like which direction are you moving, or giving you some ideas for that, and then what kind of action would be beneficial during this time. All right, what else do I need to say before we get started? Obviously, if you enjoy what I'm doing, don't forget to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. This is probably the easiest way that you can contribute to what I'm doing, to my channel. Although, of course, there are other ways. There are donation options in the description box below. There is an Amazon wish list with different decks. Mostly, it's 95% different decks that you can order from me, and I will be using them on this channel. I also have a TV show for those who are new that's called Mindfully Awake. It's around mindfulness and wellness. There's a playlist on this channel with the same name where you can get the details. And you know, you get the recordings of the episodes that have aired so far. If I don't think I'll be doing that next year, actually. I'm still in negotiation with this, guys, but my plan is to close it out. But I'm just gonna say, like, you know, there's been so many episodes that have aired so far, and if YouTube is not your thing, they're also available on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on X, iHeartRadio, Amazon Fire, so many more resources, and also as a podcast on the podcast platform. So it's easier, if it's easier for you to listen on the go, then that's also the format that you can enjoy. Just search for Mindfully Awake, and you'll actually be able to like bookmark it, save it, download it, whatever makes sense. One of the benefits of podcasts for me personally is that because I listen to my podcasts on Spotify, and I have a premium account, that I can actually download them, and you know, I can take advantage of that when I'm traveling. My travel is like, it's either going to the city, which at some point involves going into the tunnel where I won't have internet connection, or travel, I mean long distance travel, where there will be planes, there will be other countries most likely where I won't necessarily have you know, mobile data. So again, it's really good to have something on your device. So that's what I do usually with podcasts. Very convenient to catch up on the latest episodes when you travel. Okay, with all that said, of course, January predictions are coming out, and I will start posting them pretty soon. I will be in Sweden in the week of the 30th of December. So if there is a delay, I'll try to record them and post them earlier if I can. If there is a delay, not to worry. As soon as I'm back home, and again, you know, have internet connection, have the lighting, have all of this shebang, I'm gonna finish recording for the rest of the signs. And yes, we will start with Capricorn, because Capricorn season, baby. Happy birthday, Capricorns. Right, so let's see, we'll pick two themes of this new moon in Capricorn that we need to know about. For those who are new, I also have a Twinflame channel. Okay. And I've posted predictions for 2025 over there. I don't know if I'll have time to do them on this channel, I'll be honest with you, but you get the horoscope, so I feel like that's always better. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do a separate reading, similar format to this, but specifically for 2025 predictions. All right, so theme number one is adrift in shallow water. I always love the artwork in this, so I have to show it to you first. Take a few deep breaths and reconnect to your inner peace. Notice the small things and appreciate them. So come back to the present moment. This is a reminder of manifestation rules 101 in this, you know, in general, that if you want to build something, then definitely come back to the now and appreciate the small things. Again, Capricorn is about kind of like going into the details, right? Details matter. The only proverb that comes to my mind is the devil is in the details, but it works both ways, you know? The devil is in the details, but also the goodness is in the details a lot of times, just as much. The second, that was card number 15, by the way. That was important too, because next one is 42, and both of them are essentially numerical. In numerology, is going to be number 6. Gentle moderation. Take your time. Pressure from others or yourself can be released by renegotiating what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah, so that's another thing when you're setting your intention and you're creating that roadmap for yourself, for your goal, for your dream. Leave some room for interpretation. Try to stay flexible, especially when it comes to details such as timing, resources, people, things like that, but mostly timing, because because often our goals come up to specific deadlines, right? And then if we don't meet the deadlines, especially if we share them with others, we are getting ourselves into that rabbit hole of guilt and shame. And that's not going to be helpful in any way, because remember when we talked about the vibration of different emotions, guilt and shame go the lowest. So you don't want to be there for sure. And I would say, I mean, it's up to you, of course, very personal decision on who you want to share your goals with. But I would say if, you know, the more doubt you have in terms of the kind of like details, you know, like the timing, how exactly you're going to get to that goal, the less I would share publicly. You obviously still welcome to share with your closest circle, but not somewhere with the wide audience. This is gonna make things easier. Okay, let's do the 6-card read. So what is it that we are bringing in with this new moon? What are the planets helping us create? And then the action. 6 of Swords is kind of on the side, but we'll talk about that in a moment. 4 of Swords. 10 of Wands, okay. And then for the advice, we have the Moon. We have 2 of Pentacles. And we have Ace of Cups. Alrighty. So in terms of what are we manifesting, what are we creating, what do we have potential for during this new moon in Capricorn? We see 6 of Swords, 4 of Swords, and 10 of Wands. It's time to find your peace, guys. This like crystal clear message here that it's, you know, it's high time to stop chasing some unrealistic goals that you set for yourself. And they may sound realistic for a moment because you've heard of someone who's done it before, and that you think that gives you permission to set the same goal for yourself, even though you may not know all the details of how that person achieved it, right? And maybe you have 1,000 more things going on in your life, but you're not, like, your brain is not acknowledging that in the moment. Your brain is basically focusing on the fact that you want this, and you know somebody who's done it, like, you know the way that they've done it more or less on the high level, and you want to go with the same way because at least that was a proven success. But this new moon is reminding us that actually our own peace, our own healing, you know, our own peace of mind and heart, for that matter, are the most important things. And we shouldn't be taking all the responsibility for people around us and always needing to walk on eggshells or meet their deadlines and their expectations and neglecting ourselves in the moment or in the process, sorry, right? It's important to notice that and to take charge of our life, you know, take it back. Be the creator of our own reality. That also means not to be in victim mentality. That could be a topic for another day, but I'm just gonna say it. Somebody needs to hear it. It's not like, oh my God, I just don't have a choice. I need to take care of all of these things, you know? No, as long as you think that way, you're gonna live that version of your life, right? There's another timeline available to you where life is fair, where you are able to reach for the stars and achieve anything, where you are able to say no to certain people who encroach on your energy field, and where sometimes you have to make some tough choices, but prioritize your own well-being. And speaking of the actions, we have the Moon, 2 of Pentacles, and Ace of Cups. So there will be some temptation to go one way or the other, or not wanting to choose just one of the two topics, relationships, focuses, right? So there may be a desire to do this and that and the other thing. But it's very important to bring love into a situation. And remember the priority of how you exercise that love. in your life. Number one is yourself. That should be a priority always. That's the main responsibility you have towards, you have in this life in general, right? Giving this love to yourself. The second priority is your higher power, whatever that is for you. The third priority is your closest person in the world. For most, it's their life partner. It could be, of course, the best friend in the world. It could be your mom. It could be somebody who you're very, very close with. But it goes in that order. You being the priority. And it's important to remember that. And to keep filling up your cup so you have enough to share. And you're sharing out of abundance of love. Not from a place of being a hero of the day and taking care of everyone else at your own expense. Right? If you feel like going about the situation this way and making choices towards yourself, it's bringing you a lot of anxiety, it's triggering you, that's exactly the perfect moment with this moon card to address it during this new moon, I mean. To see where it's coming from and set intentions for something different, including for the way you want to feel when you're making changes in your life. Okay, that was the collective read, and what I'm gonna do is the rest of the oracle cards is I'm just gonna lay them out on the side, face down, so I can easily pull one of the cards for each of the zodiac signs. And then we'll see for each individual sign, what are you guys manifesting, what are you creating, and what is the advice for action. All right, so we will start with Capricorn. Capricorns, your additional theme for this new moon in Capricorn is leaping through the air, number 45. And by the way, we're stepping into the new year whose numerology number is going to be 9, because 2025, if you sum up the digits, is going to give you a 9. The plan you have made is on track. Always good to hear, right? If you're waiting for something, get to work and stop putting off ideas or projects that you are considering. Oh, this is very much a Capricorn energy, right? That's that saying that goes, don't put off things till tomorrow that you can do today, right? Something like that. Sorry, I just need to watch the time here. Yeah, so this is about not just sitting and waiting for some kind of miraculous transformation in your life just happening, just because, right? Prayer and meditation are valid actions, but this is actually asking you to start, like, it's basically saying everything is on track, but continue going, continue moving forward with it, right? There is no pressure, there is no rush, but it's important for you to take some steps on your side. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll just pull 3 cards for each, because otherwise it's gonna take too much time. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so let's see. We have 2 of Cups, Judgment, and 2 of Wands. Wow, look at the 2s here. So definitely collaboration is in the cards for you, Capricorn. Find a person that you can feel connected to when it comes to the passion the 2 of you have for the project or the relationship, and the connection of the emotional state. You know, when you just click, you just gel with the person. And if you're disagreeing, at least that part is exciting as well. That's what I'm hearing. Right? There's going to be a lot of insightful moments in this partnership. So this is like the partnership itself is going to be a marker of success, is already going to be an achievement and a dream come true. But what you're going to be able to achieve with this partner is going to take your life to a completely new level, which is just going to be magical. So it's not, again, it's not just going to be, it's like a Russian nesting dolls, you know, it's not just going to be only the resulting project from your collaboration, but it's also going to be a lot of personal growth that you will appreciate, that will come onto your lap just magically as something inquisitive, as something that you're going to be curious about. And again, that's the Capricorn energy for you. Wow. So that's kind of the advice on what to manifest, or at least what's the energy, what the energy is favorable for, in the cosmos. Okay, let's see here. What do we have with time? Judgment also means that you may have to make some judgment calls in this partnership that you're not used to making, because for some of you you're used to the other person calling the shots and making important decisions. But this is going to be, the tables are going to turn, and it may feel intimidating for a moment that you now have all this responsibility, but it's also going to empower you and believing that you're not the weakest link of the in the relationship or in this project, right? But you're just as important as the other person, or maybe you are even the leader of the project, or you are the proactive one in the relationship. That could be the case. Okay, now we're gonna go to Aquarius. So for Aquarius, the additional theme for this new moon in Capricorn is going to be number 6, looking at the underbelly. Be sure that you're using your time in the best possible manner. You might consider taking time to organize yourself, or perhaps a project you're working on could use some fine-tuning. And again, that's the Capricorn energy. When you're fine-tuning your existing setup, right? When you're paying attention to finer details, when you're taking time to sharpen your soul, which would be the term that Stephen Covey would use, right, before you proceed. It's one of the habits of highly efficient people, right? Revisit your tools, your process, your resources. That's been my mantra for a while in the corporate world when I worked as a project manager. So it might be, for Aquarius at large as an energy, it's exciting to look at the bigger scale, to look at the global impact, but Capricorn energy is kind of like pulling the Aquarius a little bit back and saying, hey, but it's actually important how you do it. You don't want to waste your energy because it's going to be a long thing running, You don't want to burn yourself out. You want to do this right. And it's like, okay, so let's do a little bit of analysis here. Let's see how we can optimize. And like I was saying, like with resources, with processes, with tools, what can you change so it's more fluent and flowy? That's what I'm getting. Okay, so let's see what we have for your Aquarius in terms of the themes of what you're manifesting. We have 2 of Swords, another 2, Queen of Cups, and 3 of Swords. Okay. Yeah, so I like that this is the 2 of Swords here. In the 2 of Swords, there is a big moon. We are going to be talking about new moon in this reading, but the moon energy hints at me that, there is, it's like the moon is basically showing some kind of new angle to the situation, and that makes things not easier but more complicated. So maybe there was a theme where you thought that everything is pretty clear. It could be connected with a matter of heart here with the 3 of Swords, right? Like you decided to part ways with that someone, and it was all crystal clear for you that, based on the information you had, that there's nothing to hope for, or it's never gonna work, and you grieved it, you kind of accepted it. And then information came up that you didn't know before. You didn't know the whole story. And now there is doubt. And now it's like, oh, maybe I should revisit what I'm doing in this situation. Or maybe it was the wrong choice if you already made it. or you may be hesitating to say it out loud because you're starting to doubt yourself, right? So what I would say was the Queen of Cups here. Of course, it's really important to bring your emotional state into the safe space, to have support of loved ones, or if you feel strong enough to offer that support to yourself. More than anything else, that's what you're going to need to make the right decision, and not to, torture yourself overthinking about it. And not just before, but after as well. Because if you had that doubt, then there's a good chance, and there was no closure or resolution, there's a good chance that your brain will keep replaying this topic, because it's like there was never a closure to it, right? So like it's almost like if you watched like the movie up till its climax and then you never saw the ending, right? You'll be thinking about it like, I wonder, you maybe will be imagining how it might have ended, right? And something like that could happen as well, and you don't want that energy to linger because it will be draining you basically, and not for a good reason. Even if after learning more information you think that you actually made the wrong choice and you're confident about it, it's still, and you make a different choice, or you correct it somehow, right? It may still not solve this initial dilemma. So something to consider, Aquarius. The next sign we're going to go to is going to be Pisces. Pisces, your additional theme for this new moon in Capricorn is number 25, breakthrough to new dimensions. A new endeavor is on the horizon. Innovative energy wants to burst forth into your consciousness. Yeah, this is new energy, innovation, definitely new moon energy. Also a little bit of Aquarius energy, really. We just spoke about Aquarius. But, Pisces, you could be so creative just because you are thinking big as well. It's a very cosmic energy, very interstellar kind of vibe. So just let it flow, break through to maybe new spaces, right? Don't put yourself in a box. You'll never feel good in a box. You know that. Okay, let's see what we have for Pisces. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Eight of Wands. And we have the Page of Swords. So there's kind of a little bit of everything here. But what I see is that you have quite ambitious goals, and you may connect them to a long dream of yours. But you don't have a lot of confidence in how you're going to get there, or how even to describe it to the universe, maybe to somebody else in your life who's asking you, so what do you want to do next with your life, or what are you going to do with this or that aspect of your life, right? And you may be feeling the energy, but it might be hard to word it at this point. So what I would say is, it is important, especially for the Capricorn energy that this new moon is in. It's important to be able to be pragmatic with it, to word it, to describe it. Even if it doesn't have all the details, there should still be a way to describe it out loud. So work on that. And of course, you can journal, you can take notes, you can do it virtually, so you can erase things easily, right? But it's quite important, because then you'll be more focused on where you're going, and the task is not going to be as daunting. If it's a big task, you can also break it down into smaller phases, so it's not as intimidating, and it doesn't seem like it's going to take you forever to get there, And I mean, I'm saying forever, but for our brain, it's interesting the way it operates, but for our brain, even if it's a task that's going to take a week, if the underlying factor is that you don't have clarity how exactly you're going to do it or how long it's going to take, is still gonna be intimidating. It's still gonna be giving you anxiety, because it's like, well, but I don't know really. It could be a week, it could be a month, it could be 3 months, right? But once you start breaking it down, it doesn't seem as bad anymore. And then before you know it, I don't know how long it's gonna take, maybe a month, maybe 3, is gonna come down to like 5 days, because you'll assess the whole scope of whatever work you need to put in, right? And you'll see how you can break it down, how you can build a timeline out of it. And that would be good enough to proceed. But at least there won't be a resistance in your brain that it's not achievable for one or another reason. Okay, that was Pisces. Now we're gonna move to Aries. Aries, your additional theme for this new moon is going to be number 21. Enjoy the journey. Stay present and flexible. I think I heard that somewhere. Many changes are going on for you and around you. These changes are not only good but necessary. Bring your awareness into the now rather than focusing on the past or the future. So yeah, essentially enjoy the process, enjoy the ride, and focus on the present, which is what we already saw in earlier cards anyway. The most important aspect of focusing on the present is that you don't give too much energy onto what happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future. So you don't have control over that anyway. Well, I mean, you do to a certain extent. It's like a note was a little asterisk there, because you can reframe the past, you can manifest a different future, obviously. But the main idea is to see where you are right now, to be checking in more often. Like, that's where the value is, because that's how you're going to know better where you want to go from here, who you are, why you're getting the experiences that you're getting, because you're manifesting 24/7, 365 days a year, whether you realize it or not. Okay, so what are Aries manifesting with this new moon in Capricorn? Knight of Swords, 9 of Wands, let's see her 9 for you, and Justice. Yeah, so definitely there is some stubbornness to reach an agreement. And stubbornness comes, it comes from ego, but deep down it comes from fear. So you may seem a little defensive about it and mind that it can actually be you addressing yourself. It doesn't even have to include other people. Although with the Libra energy that the Justice card brings in, it's usually about you and somebody else, right? There is some kind of resistance in sorting things out and finding ways to move forward in a more constructive way, in a friendlier way. So that could be an option during this time, that you're able to work through your fear, that you're able to be more vulnerable in communication. And that's what's recommended. And if you know which connection, which relationship, which situation I'm talking about, but you're thinking, you know what, I'm not ready to do it in that setting yet, that's okay. But see how you can almost like test it out, to experiment with it with someone else that you feel more comfortable with, right? See how you can introduce some tweaks, or you can share something intimate that maybe you haven't shared before, and see how you can engage with that person in a different way. Or maybe you know that something is bothering them, so there is like an actual story on the other side, on their side, and you can ask them some questions so that they can open up more, and that will create a deeper bond for the two of you. So that's your specialized topic for this, Aries. Okay, with that said, we will go to Taurus. Taurus, your additional theme for this new moon in Capricorn is seeing both sides. take a step back and try looking at this from a different perspective. So basically, Hangman energy. This is a little bit more, again, about dynamic relationship with someone else, where it's like, well, you don't know the whole story, or you don't know why this is bothering that person so much, right? So it's like, try to step in their shoes. It's more about empathy, it's more about compassion and understanding, being able to understand the position of the other person. What Taurus is manifesting with this new moon? The High Priestess, Ace of Wands, like that, and the Tower. Wow. So you're manifesting a new path for yourself in terms of personal growth. It also could be, if you're a light worker, it could be your light worker mission, or just generally you kind of dream occupation, you know, your mission and purpose in life. You don't need to be a light worker to connect with that. Everyone can and should connect to that space. So you feel like you have struggled with that for a while now, right? And maybe that's part of like not seeing the full picture. Or if you're struggling in a relationship, right, that you may be thinking, oh, I'm doing the best I can, you know, I have this emotional strength, I have this physical passion towards the person that I'm not shying away from, but somehow it's still, something is not clicking, right? There will be a Tower moment that the universe will bring in at this time, so you can't really be prepared. You don't know what it is about. One thing you know, that it's unexpected, so something will change swiftly, rapidly, and it's out of your control. So you are getting this message not to be able to prevent it, to stop it, to pretend like it didn't happen, but to work with the resulting energy, to know that it opens up some tunnels for you, some paths, some directions, because I'm just seeing that in my head. That's why I'm calling it that way. But yeah, basically that where you tried like 5 different things and you didn't succeed, now you'll actually be able to see, you know, it's almost like you are somewhere under, well, let's say in a cave, you know, and you'll just see like this narrow passages inside of it, like deep inside of it. But then suddenly something detonates and it opens like a big part of the wall and the cave space. It's like, oh, now we can see the sunlight, so it's really clear how to get out of it. You know, you basically follow that sunlight. Okay, that was Taurus. Let's see. Next we'll go to Gemini. Gemini, your additional theme for this new moon in Capricorn is distinctive potential. Rely on your faith and the knowledge that nothing is impossible. Use your determination to hang in there until you realize a goal. So patience and resilience. It's more about temperance, if you ask me. Okay, let's see what we have for Gemini. Believe in your potential, Gemini. Okay, so what are you manifesting? You have 7 of Cups. We have Ace of Wands. And we have Queen of Swords. All the different suits, different types of energy. But you definitely want clarity on what, like finding the moment of truth, being able to see it on demand, right? To request it on demand, so that it's not like, oh, well, maybe this time I was lucky, or the other time I wasn't, and that's why I never really found out what actually happened, or what am I supposed to do with this information, right? But this is being able to see clearly, so you don't have to double guess. And during this time, you'll be able to get that clarity. So this is something you can set intention for. You know, like, I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to know what the situation is presenting to me, right? Or I want to see clearly why out of 10 different options, I'm choosing this one, right? Like, what are the criteria that are important to me in this case, right? This is like figuring out what I stand for, confirming for yourself. You may be guided to try some new experiences, you know, so that you can form your own opinions more authentically and not just following an influencer or a TV show or a commercial ad. You know, everyone's doing it, so I'm gonna do it too. No, building your own kind of ratings and review section if you wish. But one way or another, it's definitely, you're definitely getting blessed with a lot of inspiration and ideas to move forward with whatever your goal could be at this time. So basically, sky's the limit as long as you trust the intuitive guidance, right? Because Queen of Swords could also, like, the shady the shadow part of it is being bossy, is being a know-it-all, is being overconfident in, you know, personal knowledge and experience and being able to assess the situation. So especially because you're supposed to to recognize your potential and hang in there, you know, it's important that while you're hanging in there, you don't get your sword out in order to actually use it in a fight. This is not that time. And Queen of Swords actually doesn't use the sword for fighting, right? It's more, it could be maybe a little bit for intimidation, I can believe that, but mostly it's like basically the sword of truth, the sword of justice that is being utilized to bring in more clarity and peace to the situation. Peace is just as important, actually. So that was Gemini. We're gonna leave it here for Gemini and continue to Cancer. Cancer is gonna be the opposite energy from, let's see, no. Cancer is gonna be the opposite. I apologize, guys. I'm just really trying to manage the time a little bit better here, and I'm trying something new. So Cancer is going to be the opposite energy from Capricorn. So it's always very interesting how this dynamic operates, because all the opposing energies on the axis are also, they're contrasting but also supportive of each other. They kind of complement each other. In other words, there's always something we can learn from the opposing energy. So Cancer, this is your opportunity to see the world through the lens of a Capricorn, you know? Maybe you actually have both energies. That happens as well. So your additional theme for this new moon, Capricorn, is life is better together. Beautiful. Seek assistance from your community. Connect with family, friends, or others who will support you. It can be as simple as making a phone call. Yeah, especially since it's the holiday season. New moon falls on the 30th, just before New Year's. Could be a great time to reconnect with someone. But yeah, definitely you're asked to find that companionship, to find someone who will support you through and through, who you can rely on, and you don't need to, you know, ask for a person's permission to give them a call, you know, or maybe you'll have to wait for a week. No, you need someone who'll have your back and basically be on your speed dial, that you can reach out to pretty quickly, and they are going to be very available to you emotionally, with their time capacity, and in any other way that you may require. Okay, so what are Cancers manifesting? We see Six of Wands, the classic, the Moon, even more classic, and the Hierophant. So what you're manifesting is becoming a leader in the society. And I can understand how, especially if you're just getting started, it might be important to have a companion to back you up. A companion could also mean like the existing leader in the community. If you're trying to find your space under the sun, let's say I'm a content creator, right? And maybe I want to establish my presence as a content creator on Instagram, which I don't really have right now, to be honest with you. So what I'll do is I'll probably go, you know, again, hypothetically, I could go to someone who's already established their presence and who's built their career on Instagram as a content creator, right? And I'll interview them briefly, right? We'll just have a casual talk and I'll ask a bunch of questions to understand where do I go from here. So that's essentially what it is. You will be rewarded for this. I feel like this is really getting out of your comfort zone, whatever the context specifically is for your situation. But know that this is part of the growth. It all happens outside of your comfort zone and trying something new and something different. So the moon is helping you see where your limitations have been so far. It could have been caused by an actual trauma, or it could have been a prejudice just because you haven't really been in that area, right? Maybe if I've never really created my content, I may think, for example, that it's too difficult to create serious content or something presentable, and that could be stopping me even subconsciously from going for it. But the companionship, whoever that person is, they will definitely support you, and they will, if not train you, but at least they will be able to be in your corner and show you how much of the good stuff you've already been doing. And this is just a phase, all these kind of things to set you up for your success. Okay, that was Cancer. Let's move on with Leo. Leo, your additional theme for this new moon is childlike devotion. Beautiful card. You are a multi-talented, complex being. Embrace and love who you are. Self-love, baby. Very simple, but not always easy. Ooh, big one, yes. Although I feel like for Leo, it might be, on some level, it might be actually easier because it's part of Leo's identity. It's like being the center of the universe kind of vibe. The only asterisk to that is that, of course, sometimes we're craving that on the outside because there is lack of balance on the inside for that self-love. So that can be something to look at, Leo. It's also about accepting who you are, even if there are parts of you, and I'm sure everyone has parts that we don't necessarily enjoy, that we don't appreciate. So what are you manifesting during this new moon? Two of Wands, Queen of Wands, a lot of passion and action for Leo, which makes sense because you're a fire sign, and Ten of Swords. All right. Yeah, so there is a choice presented to you. It could be a choice of a past, it could be a choice of a person, this relationship or this relationship. It could be even a choice of relocating somewhere specific or staying where you are, right? And your main focus would be to avoid the pain that you've encountered so far. So it'll be like, okay, I'm gonna find the path of least resistance. And in this case, it will be the path where you avoid recreating this pain again. Which may sound tempting, but the most important choice, or the best way to make a choice that's in front of you, is going to be to recognize this Queen of Wands energy. It's going to be recognizing that this is about you, your empowerment, your potential, right? And your childlike devotion. That you're a complex being, but that's perfectly fine, right? And you shouldn't use cookie cutter to put yourself into some kind of limit of the template, but of the process, but adjust the process in order for it to serve you and your needs and for you to feel good in the process. not just in the process of manifesting this, but then when it's already with you and you're using it for your needs. So I actually love all the fire. The fiery Leo energy is helping you move this along, right? So that you don't get stuck into the loop of just feeling sad and maybe sorry for yourself that some terrible thing has happened, or somebody broke your heart, or whatever else that was, right? This is about moving forward, and that's one of the ways to heal, by the way. I wouldn't say dismiss proper healing and responding to your like actual emotions and feelings in the moment. Don't skip that part for sure. But moving on by doing something else or embarking on a new path, that's still remains a very valuable piece of advice for, you know, finding closure, especially if you do not have a chance to talk to the person themselves. Okay, so next we'll move to Virgo. Virgo, your additional theme for this new moon in Capricorn is where you need to be, number 26. Acknowledge how you're feeling. Have faith the universe will take care of the current concern by providing the best possible outcome for all involved. So this is one of those classic cards confirming that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, Virgo, right? Have a deeper faith into it. Right? Can you go even deeper into the faith? So you don't have to dig down for all the answers, but you can actually trust it. Sometimes that's enough, you know. And that could be you working with the shadow side of the Capricorn season, energy. So what are Virgos working with? What are they manifesting? We see 8 of Pentacles, working on working. Knight of Cups. And the Fool. And again, this is, I mean, you can't make this up. This is exactly the faith card, you know, having faith that the universe will catch you, that the universe has got your back. Basically, it's working on these qualities is what I'm seeing for you, Virgo. Working on the quality of going into deeper faith, and I kind of spoke about it for a moment. Sometimes faith means that you're accepting subjectively negative events, but that seem negative to you, as part of the divine plan, and having faith that it was also supposed to happen. And then the spot where you are right now wouldn't happen without all of the positive and all of the negative experiences in life, right? So it's, you know, it is deeper diving into what that faith and acceptance is. But also what I'm getting is you're learning to express yourself without putting too much emotional response to it, whether it's good or bad, you know, or somewhere in between. This is being more calm, having more peace of mind, and not worrying that a specific outcome in a specific scenario is gonna, you know, build or ruin your entire life. There is some kind of healthy medium there. So that could be a good advice to stick with that, to find that balance for yourself if you can. Okay, so that was Virgo. Now we're gonna go to Libra. Let me just do a quick shuffle here before I forget. Libra, your additional theme for this new moon is number 17, safe and surrounded by love. Love the dolphins. Keep your heart open and know you're being protected. Listen to what you know to be true and allow yourself to see and understand what is going on around you. Allow yourself to see and understand. Keep your heart open. So, you know, the way to understand is to keep your heart open. And if you know that this could be like, this is habitually your problem to open up, to open your heart because of some kind of insecurity, then this is a confirmation that you're safe to do that right now. So it will definitely make your journey easier. What do we have for Virgo with tarot? What are Virgo manifesting? Queen of Pentacles, we always love. Five of Wands and Five of Pentacles. Very interesting. So there is a passing stage here, a passing phase in your life where you may feel like there's you're getting too overwhelmed with all the energies around you, with maybe even, you know, being subscribed to many kinds of social media and then receiving the different news and, you know, developing stories from maybe even all over the world, and that weighing on you, and you're like, oh my god, why am I hearing about it? How is this going to help me, you know, solve my dilemmas of the day, right? But that also makes you feel kind of, it makes you feel less hope, have less hope in what's going on, and feel like you're on your own, even if there are people around, right? But what it's doing, like the benefit of having that energy, we don't really like having that energy in a reading, but the benefit in this case is that it's pushing you to work more in your abundance, to kind of leave those global events and developments in the background, like this backdrop, right? And focus on something that you, first of all, can create and change, and second of all, without controlling other people, which is not the way out anyway. You know, building things that will get you into a place of being more content and being more abundant, so you don't have to worry about what other people will think, or, you know, if they're gonna support you on the way or not. It's a lot more about your own journey that it is about paying too much attention on what it looks like, right? As long as you get yourself into a safe spot and you feel that cocoon of love around you and you're able to use it to your advantage in your choices, that's all that's being asked. But again, it's simple but not easy. There used to be a book with that name, I'm pretty sure. Something like simple isn't easy. Okay, that was Libra. And now we'll go into Scorpio. Scorpio, your additional theme for this new moon in Capricorn is number 35. Help appears in various ways. There is much support for you. Sometimes you may get to adrift. You may get so adrift, you forget to look to the support systems that are with you continually. Yeah, so basically this is about help being available to you, being around you, noticing it, remembering about it, even if it doesn't come in specific resources or specific people. It's available energetically, it's available through your guides, it's available once you ask for it, you know, whether it's you're asking for protection or you're asking to help you manifest specific things. That's like the back door of manifestation. So what is it that you're manifesting this new moon in Capricorn? This is for Scorpio. Page of Cups, Eight of Wands, and Justice. I saw similar cards already, but yeah, what I'm gonna say is the name of the game for you is gonna be finding a healthy balance. So it's gonna be not being too shy, but also not show off too much. It's gonna be learning to use your words, but not to interrupt others and override what they're saying, or always disagree with what they're saying, right? And I mean, I know I give you kind of exaggerated examples, but I'm doing it so that you understand what I'm talking about. You can make peace within these ranges of energies without compromising your authenticity, your integrity, your belief system, right? So finding compromise, finding peace with someone else doesn't necessarily mean you give up what you believe in, right? You just need to dig a little deeper, maybe take a little more time with it, maybe do an activity together with the other person, like a workshop, you know, to go over more details and see how you can find that solution. You can always invite someone who can help you mediate, and that's one of the ways help is available. It could be like a subject matter expert, it could be a therapist, it could be, you know, whatever is relevant in a situation. But the third party, the objective third party, could actually help you mediate your situation and help you understand how this may work. And maybe the understanding will be that this isn't gonna work, but at least you won't feel guilty for not trying enough, or not finding ways, or for having found ways, having agreed to something that actually isn't working for you now, that you really regret, but it feels like it's too late. And by the way, if that's where you're starting from during this time, that energy, that place, then know that you can actually change things, right? It just needs to be more, there should be some moderation there, and definitely a little bit more preparation. All right, that was Scorpio. And last but not least, we have Sagittarius. The additional theme for Sagittarius is number 41, convey your meaning. Reflect on the way you communicate with others and with yourself. Be sure to express your thoughts and feelings from your heart and with respect and sincerity. Yeah, I kind of talked quite a lot about it in different aspects of this reading, but I do realize that not everyone is going to go through every reading, because every part of the reading, because there were some messages for different signs. So just as a quick recap, communication is super important, and we've been feeling this energy from end of November through middle of December, basically, with different planetary transits. So it's important to understand where you stand right now, right? How do you convey your meaning? Are people think about specific situations? Are people, you can even journal them, right? Like maybe for a week, especially if there are some big conversations in your life. Usually a week is enough to have a variety of those. And then you can see how successful you are in getting your message across. Do you listen and make effort to understand what the other person's position is in that situation? And yeah, definitely see how you can fine-tune the way that you communicate out what your needs and wants are, expressing your creative ideas, you know, what works for you, what doesn't work, all those good things. See how you can make it a little bit easier on yourself and anybody else involved. That's what I'm gonna say. Let's see what we have for the Sagittarius here. So you have 9 of Swords, the Star, and 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so for you, there is a big opportunity to do lots of energy healing during this time, and emotional healing more than anything else. The main topics that need to be tackled are around loneliness and around just overthinking and, you know, maybe internalizing the situations that you're being in too much. Like somebody got mad at you and you're eating yourself up that it was all your fault, right? Or you didn't say the right thing, or whatever it is. So the Star energy, which is the major arcana, which is going to be the divine interference, is helping you get into the healing space where you don't just keep replaying the same tune, but it's gonna push you towards looking for ways to get out of the old cycles. And by all means, use this message as a confirmation that you're supposed to get out of the cycles where you felt that way. even more so if you felt that way, but you never actually said anything about it. You know, like it's like that next level rabbit hole where you felt bad about something and then you felt bad about feeling bad, and it just kept rolling more layers onto it, right? And it's like a vicious cycle that you can get out of, right? So this healing is supposed to bring more of emotional balance. It's supposed to bring more peace and more acceptance within your own life, so that it doesn't become something like, you know, whatever somebody else's reaction is to how you speak is like a make or break kind of deal, right? You can still handle it, you can work with it to the point where you still want to do whatever you discuss together. It's just that maybe a few adjustments are necessary so that both your interest and the interest of another person in this setup are taken into account, because both of them are equally important. Or let's say important, right? Because I don't know what your situation is. If you're a paying customer somewhere, they say customer is always right? So maybe you have not 50-50, but maybe you have a 70% weight on there. Up to you, Sagittarius, to figure that out. But this was the last sign that I have for you, because we started with Capricorn, we finished with Sagittarius. So I am gonna finish it here. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And this was for Sun, Moon, and Rising. Definitely you have a chance to listen to 3 different messages for yourself based on your Sun, Moon, and Ascendant sign, and then you can blend them together and get a more comprehensive message overall. All right, this is just one of the best practices and recommendations for me. It's up to you how you want to view it, absorb it, and integrate it for your own path. But other than that, I think this is all. We're done. So until next time.